Hello. Today I'm going over this tool that I just found on Reddit earlier, Faster Whisper Server. It's as the description reads, an open AI compatible server with support for streaming and live transcription. The key takeaways for me is I'm working on a transcription project currently for summarization of content, whether text or audio. The live and streaming aspect is especially interesting to me. So in getting set up with this tool, I guess the takeaway from this video, I'll say beforehand, is this is basically instructions for utilizing this setup entirely on Windows. The instructions on this GitHub README is for Linux. And as you get to installation, or specifically for the purpose that I have, everything will work except the live transcription, which is, as I said, the purpose for me for using this. So in looking at websocat, the installation instructions for Linux are straightforward. For Debian, however, it's recommending using a executable. And for me, using Windows natively, I run WSL2, and that is also that's a Debian distro. So I figured I might as well just run it from the Windows binary. So in this case, I am downloading this one. You would be downloading whatever, but again, these instructions are for Windows. So downloading 64-bit exe. Once you have that downloaded, again, this is websocat. This is the socket manager basically for the live transcription. Once you have downloaded it, it'll be in your downloads folder. You're going to want to set the environmental variable. As you see the command here, will not run unless you have properly set the path. So either you're going to want to add users, me, whatever your name is, downloads to this path variable, or you're going to want to copy the websocat file to one of these locations, any of them. In my case, I copied it to Windows, so that's that, and it will properly run. Also, we're not using the binary tick, so I'll show you the command. I've basically run into some issues with IO errors, so my quick workaround, because I've only worked on this for half an hour, the setup is very easy. It's nicely implemented. Anything Docker is nice. It's basically easy setup, and then you're just adding it to your pipeline for further inference based on the transcripts that you're creating, which in this case, by default is printed, but you can pipe it further to a file, which we can just quickly do as a demonstration. Okay, so as I said earlier, the other methods work if you're using just the command. No, I don't believe these will work, but the Python will work, the curl commands will work. However, for the live transcription using websocat, you'll need to make some changes. Those namely being, as I said, websocat, if you're not properly setting the environmental variable as far as the path, as I mentioned, you're going to have to do something like websocat, the same way you do like app data or something. So websocat is the first change. The second is also we are not on Linux, so we don't have pulse audio. Windows uses dshow or a dshow. So the command will be, I'll pull it over here. here. I can also showcase the dummy command. You basically, well, I'll show the command. List devices true, dshow, interface dummy. And then you're selecting the input that you're using. In this case, this microphone is the Scarlett Solo, but I could use the Razer. I could use whatever. So run this command to find the device, again, in Windows. Copy the name or the alternative name, device ID, and you're good to go. So that being done, clean it up. I mentioned that I'm having I/O issues, so this is not the command. It's in me. Yeah, so I'm using basically a batch script to retry it, reconnect when it breaks. So those are the main changes for Windows. That being said, now we'll start from the beginning. You're using Docker, so you decide, are you using GPU? Do you have an NVIDIA GPU? In which case you can run this CUDA command. Otherwise, are you running entirely on CPU? You can use the CPU command. So in this window, I'll start the Docker. And in this one, we'll start the batch script that basically reconnects. And as we see, it is basically getting the transcript of what I'm saying. And it's pretty fast, right? It's essentially real time. We have statistics of start and end time. If I add a little pause, maybe the start will change, but you see all the chunks are being completed in, less than 300 or 400 milliseconds. We got 0.35, 0.32, 0.27, so very impressive. This is on a RTX 3070. There we see kind of the errors that we're getting, or we'll wait for, connection closed, and this is the purpose of the batch script, to reopen the connection and continue for, this is not production use, but for local consumer grade hardware. This is an RTX 3070. And equivalent, you could get a 3060 or whatever, and you'd be good to go at maybe slightly slower latency, but it's still, real time essentially. So the challenge from this point would be basically incorporating this into your further inference pipeline for, I believe, using similar methods to like embedding chunking if you're using RAG or vector DBs in any way. You're wanting overlap basically so that the transcript input is sanitized or cleaned, so you're not having redundancy of words or sentences, and then you're pretty much good to go. I will be doing some experimentation because, as you see, this is heavily modified to the GitHub command. I've added ping interval, buffer size. I've experimented with using localhost versus the 127.0.0.1 IP. Both are still creating the same, connection closed issue. Before I was getting I/O issues. I'm not really looking carefully now. Well, that's me saying it, but running the vanilla command was giving me I/O issues, so I'll be doing some research on that. If you have any input or a solution to that, feel free to reach out if you have any questions or comments. Definitely reach out in the comments below. I'll be including basically all of the commands that have been adjusted in the description, as well as kind of a general step-by-step of the differences compared to the README here. So yeah, this is some pretty cool stuff, and it's been something I've been interested for a while, working with 11 Labs, etc. Getting a conversational AI, you start getting into some interesting spaces. I agree with Elon as far as the limitation that we have is interface. While this isn't quite Neuralink, being able to talk to your code, to your machines, whatever, is definitely highly valuable, and I can only see it accelerating progress as it gets cleaned up and I guess standardized. The process becomes even further abstracted, because simplicity of this installation is it's commendable. It's well done. So yeah, that's the video. I would say it's a pretty accurate demonstration of the quality. I guess I haven't been showing the actual text being produced, so that's not good, but it's also not really working that well because it's broken. So yeah, sometimes it breaks really fast, other times it seems to last a little bit longer. I've had instances where I'm just rambling on 40 seconds, 50 seconds, and it's just fine, whereas other cases it's done in maybe 30 seconds, or not 33 seconds, 5 seconds, 8 seconds. But yeah, this is very impressive stuff. To me, aside from talking to devices, the use case that I have specifically is for like a intern AI, like a note-taking AI agent. Essentially, you can throw in a bot that has access to a microphone to your remote or local meetings and is able to take notes, summarize, provide bullet points. But also through the system prompt, you could set up multiple agents. You can have a junior developer agent that gives his input. You could have a legal agent. You could have an HR agent. All these different possibilities for bolstering a meeting with basically AI input and also capturing and summarization. It's just very powerful stuff. As time goes on, I feel like we're going to see, more and more basically digital organizations where essentially I can imagine being able to rent a proven effective team for different tasks, that being a better benchmark than the ones that we have currently. Overfitting being a buzzword and challenge that is of major concern, I believe, to many people trying to transition into the next phase of capabilities. We need real world benchmarks. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, solutions, feel free to reach out in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.